So our main event is a singles match, ladies and gentlemen, and it's scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, you've seen him recently, the last few times I've been here. Introducing the class apart, Alexander Henry!
Hello and welcome back to Target Wrestling right here on YouTube, and it's main event time for our August Carlisle show. That's right, Alexander Henry making his way to the ring, a man who is not scared to make an impression, because only a few months ago right here in Target he decided to basically steamroll and interrupt an entire show to remind Target Wrestling who he is, the sort of character he is, and the caliber and class of wrestler that he is.
The opponent is another Target great, ladies and gentlemen. It is none other than Rampage!
Now, Rampage Brown is one incredibly impressive and intimidating man. That's right, Rampage Brown is actually a man I have never seen get pinned here in Box Arena. Now, I'm not saying that it hasn't happened before, I'm just saying that I have never personally bore witness to it in my almost 3 years here as a commentator. That's right, Rampage Brown has never seen the lights after a 1-2-3 in the entire time that I have been commentating here. This is a little bit of an unofficial #1 contenders match for the Target Heavyweight Championship. The winner of this contest will put themselves in an incredibly favourable position to become the #1 contender for the Target Wrestling World Championship. And look at all that meat in the middle of the ring. A lot of history between these two men. I'll just quickly mention our official for this matchup is senior referee Jed Briggs, and there's no other man that I would trust to referee this main event, as it proves to be one muscly old muscle-off contest. That's right, I'm expecting to see and hear a lot of impact as these two men once again tie up. Now, Alexander Henry began his training here in Carlisle at Target Wrestling several years ago before he made a career move to another part of the country, which is where he met Rampage Brown and enrolled to be part of Rampage Brown's training school. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the plot has thickened, hasn't it? Just. It's a trainee mentor matchup. And Alexander Henry is starting to cut quite a frustrated figure. And uses that perception, that deception, to apply the old boot to the midsection of Rampage Brown, who, look at that. For a big man, the agility in that moment was quite explosive. Oh, did you hear the impact of that slap across the chest? Rampage Brown is a man that comes with a huge reputation, and look at the aggression in that suplex into the pin. And Henry is a little bit worse for wear now, as he's been quite easily thrown around in the earlier stages of this contest. It's going to take more than a kick to the gut for Henry to take advantage, and my God, did you see the elevation and the height and the drop kick from Alexander Henry as he goes to work and applies the boots to the old mentor Rampage Brown. He's very aware of what the count is. Neither man will want to lose this contest. There is a lot at stake. Good power slam by Alexander Henry, the class apart. Oh, I was just saying that. Whoa! As he throws that massive elevation elbow It's just a 1 count. Rampage Brown is having none of that. The equivalency of a brush off the shoulder with that kick out attempt as Rampage Brown. You can just see the impact that Rampage Brown's strikes have on Henry compared to the strikes Henry can land on Brown. He is the bigger man. He has more experience, more power at his disposal, and there's a big example of it, catching Alexander Henry mid-air and slamming him to the canvas. Rampage Brown is not letting up as he goes to the outside. And I don't think Alexander Henry knows that Rampage Brown is behind him. He'll know about it now as he gets that huge clubbing blow to the back. And did you hear the impact of that slap right across the chest? The crowd want it one more time, but Henry fights back just in the nick of time as well, as each one of those huge chops. Ooh, a lot of impact going off that ring post there, it looked, by Alexander Henry, throwing Rampage Brown in. Alexander Henry, you know, he hasn't always been, oh, looks like we're about to go walkies. Alexander Henry hasn't always been an incredibly popular person here at Box Arena, but at the moment it does see that the tide is turning in terms of Henry's popularity amongst the faithful, an almost divided crowd for the hometown man, the class apart Alexander Henry, who is a wrestler that has become popular with at least half of the Target Wrestling crowd. As you can see here, a fair few fans at the bar. And Rampage Brown with a huge forearm in front of everyone at the bar. Look out, you'll get some sweat on you guys. These two competitors have been through the ringer already this evening as we go towards the ramp. Off that steel ramp apron here that we have at Box Arena, the exposed steel. Oh, I think he's just pushing his face up against the grids there. See those iron grids? Alexander Henry's getting nasty in that exchange, trying to grate Rampage Brown, and now I think getting into an argument with obviously a fan of the teenage sensation Logan Reed, and that has caused the tables to indeed turn here at Box Arena. And oh, look at the agility there of Rampage Brown. Skips over there, the referee. Jet Bricks not willing to skip over the guardrail as the action looks to have made its way back towards the ring once again. Oh, not on the apron! Oh, he hung him up to dry on the apron of the ring there. Alexander Henry, though, is in the middle of the ring. Rampage Brown following in, and he's desperately trying to crawl away. Alexander Henry trying to get some separation, but Rampage Brown is exactly that. He is a rampage, and he does not stop attacking you. That huge shoulder barge goes into the pin. And Henry, very gingerly and slowly, no pun intended for the fair-haired man, kicks out of that pin attempt. Good reversal from Henry, sends Rampage into the corner. Rampage comes fighting out with that big back elbow. And wow, the power and velocity of a steaming Rampage Brown coming across the ring. Big clothesline tucks Henry down. Henry now in a vulnerable position. Oh, big back body drop. Big elevation from Rampage Brown. And maybe Alexander Henry might have had enough. Doesn't hook the leg though. Rampage Brown maybe a little bit too casual with that pin attempt. And Carlisle's own class apart, Alexander Henry, is still in this contest. What a win this would be for Alexander Henry. Big boots being applied though by Rampage Brown, who is not in a position. Needs to take a breather here though, the experienced veteran. He does stay on top of his opponent. You can hear the audience behind Brown as well. tempting Rampage for one more chop. Doesn't get the opportunity to do it, but gets the boot up just in time to stop Alexander Henry. He's up on that second rope here, Rampage Brown, and now he's maybe up there in a bad position because Alexander Henry has got some impressive strength at his disposal, and if he can bring Rampage down off that top rope, it'll have a huge impact. Listen to that chop. Bare exposed chest by Alexander Henry. He's clinging on for dear life, not wanting to fall from that second rope, as now maybe he's got Rampage Brown in the position and he's going to be coming off the top rope. Superplex from the top rope. Can Henry make a pin? He's too dazed. He's received too much punishment to try and crawl over and make the pin, as the referee's count is for both men, but now both men are on their feet. Henry comes steaming in against Brown and hits the splash, and another one for good measure, as Alexander Henry looks to maybe build up enough momentum to potentially win the biggest contest of his career to date against the old mentor. Rampage Brown, there's the cannonball roll, and just about rolls Rampage into the position to make a pin, and that might be enough. Incredibly close. It is not enough though to keep Rampage down, and Rampage Brown is still in this contest. Alexander Henry's calling for the end though. How could we see it? And he has in between the legs. He's going to hook the arms. The class apart. No! Rampage gets out just in the nick of time and hits him sweet underneath the jaw with a huge blow. Wow, look at the strength from Henry here, who has Rampage up and on his shoulder. Hits a power slam. Amazing from Henry. That could be it. He's got the legs hooked, but it wasn't enough. He wanted it to be enough, but it wasn't enough. And listen to the crowd. They are starting to turn. They are starting to support their hometown man. Carlisle's very own class apart, as he drags Rampage Brown into the corner. And where is Alexander Henry going? What are we about to see from Alexander Henry? Rampage puts an end to whatever it could have been and brings Henry down belly to back. Great fighting back from Henry, but no! Wow! Hits a huge slam into the pin, and it's not going to be enough. It is not going to be enough to keep the class apart down. Rampage Brown, though, is starting to look more dangerous, and he's being told to end this contest. What has Rampage Brown got in mind? Whoa! Look, he gets him up onto the top turnbuckle in a rather unorthodox fashion, but he is up sitting on that top turnbuckle now, as Rampage Brown joins him sitting on that second rope. Are we going to see the return of the superplex favour? Doesn't look like it, as the class apart fights back and sinks into that powerbomb position. He hits the powerbomb straight into the pin. He can't get him down for the free. Rampage Brown has had some hellacious punishment in this one, but once again he's in position for the class apart. Oh, what the hell just happened? These two huge behemoths of a men, after such a long match of superplexes and middle rope tomfoolery, the ring, one of the welts on the ring has snapped off the second rope. the class apart now. Manages. No way. Here we go. He's got the arms hooked. The class. He's got him up. Apart. He's done it. He's done it. Alexander Henry with the biggest win of his career. And as it often does here in wrestling, one great feat will lead to the next, and you can not deny the fact that Alexander Henry, after defeating Rampage Brown here tonight, is undoubtedly Target's #1 contender. And will surely face Tim Strange in the near future for an opportunity at the Target Heavyweight Championship. Now both men here have had one hellacious contest. Rampage Brown is not a man that gives out respect flippantly, and that respect has been earned tonight by Alexander Henry. The mentor passes on his approval to his former mentee. Alexander Henry, the class apart, surely Target's newest #1 contender. This has been a fantastic contest. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now. It is my pleasure to introduce everybody to the first inductee to our Hall of Fame, Sebastian Kerry, who became a member by clicking on the join button just below a Target Wrestling video. You can do the same and gain access to exclusive wrestling matches and all kinds of other benefits. Just click the join button below.